All right, ladies and gents, and weirdos of all ages. All right, it's been a while since I've been on, and a lot has happened. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. During the holiday season, Trump kept rage tweeting, talk about impeachment this, impeachment that. A few days ago, same day that this General Soleimani was assassinated, earlier in the day, there was a report that came out that Donald Trump, his loans with Deutsche Bank were all backed by Russian oligarchs and by banks owned by Putin himself. A few hours later, what happened? News came out. Trump attacked a convoy somewhere in Iraq and had this guy killed. Now, before we dive a little deeper into that, what's the importance of that news story? It goes back to the original point of the Mueller probe and everything that has resulted since then. As we all know, it was put out there in the 2016 campaign during the primaries that Donald Trump has a lot of bankruptcies. We know this. It's already been put over there. It's already been all over the news, all over social media. We know it. It's just been out there. If you don't know, Google it. Figure out how many bankruptcies he's had. But just to give you guys enough of a clue, he's had enough to where no bank on the North American continent will lend him or his organization money. That's unheard of. No corporation, no millionaire, billionaire, to my knowledge, that is out there for everybody out to see, has that issue. Nobody with a corporation or a business working in the U.S. has had that many bankruptcies in all these different facets of business to where they cannot get a loan from a bank to go ahead and help with working capital to provide funding for businesses to go ahead and do what they need to do to have their day-to-day operations continue to go. Nobody. We knew that he had to have funding somewhere else. He had to be getting these loans from somewhere else. Now it's come out, and this is being reported on multiple sources and multiple news agencies that yes, he had these loans from Deutsche Bank. We knew that as part of the Mueller probe. But these loans are being backed up by Russian banks, Russian oligarchs, and banks owned by Vladimir Putin himself. Now you put all the other pieces together with Trump taking a lot of the positions that Putin has had concerning NATO, the Iran nuclear deal, you name it. And this man is parroting these issues. Why? Now it makes a lot more sense because this man is being controlled by Putin. I am more convinced of it than I ever have with that report. That comes out, and according to all reports, the White House knew that report was coming out. So what does Trump always do? Whenever there's some really bad news concerning him his corporations, something he's done, something, whenever he gets bad news, he knows it's coming out. He always does something to distract. Always does it. Never fails. So this time, he targeted a general. Basically, their top general, second in command, over in Iran. I don't know how it goes, but this is one of the big guys. Was he a good guy? No. There is nobody on the face of this earth who will go ahead and say, yeah, this is a good guy. He's responsible for at least 600 American deaths and countless others in his own country and the surrounding end. With that said, though, and ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and Google this to figure out if what I'm telling you is correct. Do the research. I have. Past presidents, multiple past presidents, have passed on taking this man out. There is a reason why. George W. passed on it. Clinton passed. Obama passed on trying to take this guy out. There is a reason why. Because they know it's going to trigger a potential hot war with Iran. And for those people out there like, well, we can go and smoke them just like we did Iraq. Really? We're still in Iraq. People are still dying. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Iraqi civilians, innocent Iraqi civilians, have died. Well over 4,000 United States troops have died. They've died in Iraq based off of a lie that George W. Bush and his administration propagated. And Trump did a very stupid thing and took him out. Once again, was the guy a good guy? No. Did this need to happen? No. Because if we're now responsible for taking out every single bad guy on this planet, then there's North Korea, there's Russia, there's quite a few other places that have guys that need to be taken out. Why don't we do it? Because we're going to start wars. And those wars will not be fought by Donald Trump or his sons, Donald Jr. or Eric. No. They're going to be fought. The battlefields will bleed red with the blood of the lower class and the middle class children. 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Yes, they did elect this life. Yes, they did elect to serve with the potential of knowing this may happen. At the same time, for those of you that say, well, you got to support our troops, yes. Where it starts is taking issue with when and where we put their lives at risk. Donald Trump doesn't think about that. Not one bit. His issue with Iran began as soon as he stepped into office. What was the first thing he did? He took the U.S.'s name off the Iran nuclear deal. Now, for those who are a little confused, well, the U.S. wasn't the only ones involved in that. Quite a few other nations were involved in the negotiating and the coming to the agreement with Iran and having that done. It wasn't just the U.S., as Trump would have you make you believe. This nitwit started it then. He started us down this path then. He doesn't realize what he's doing. And then his rhetoric towards Iran. Threatening bombing Iran. Even pulling off an attack, stopping an attack hours before it happened that he had already greenlit with bombing in Iran. That wasn't too long ago. And then he killed this man. Once again, not a good man. A man who probably deserved to be somewhere else other than in power. But this man did it anyways. He didn't care. And then yesterday, reports of Iran shooting rockets and missiles into bases in Iraq that housed U.S. troops. Thank God, according to, depending on which report you believe, it's either very few, no casualties it looks like, no dead. That's the good thing. Iran this morning said that's the end of the retaliation for the killing of one of their generals. They don't wish war. And then Trump had a press conference a couple hours ago. And of course he couldn't help himself. He mentioned Obama. And in tweets and according to reports, he's looking for a way out of this situation. And ironically, he's searching for some agreement, some way to get Iran back in line and to not have a nuclear weapon. That agreement was in place. That agreement was in place before he even came to power. He tore that all up. After he attacked the general, the plan was the agreement was still in place. We weren't attached to it anymore, but the other countries that were negotiating with it were still on that. He attacked that general, killed the man, and now Iran is no longer abiding by any of it. They tore it up. They pulled out. This is all a mess. And it was in line. The Iran nuclear deal was working. But Theo, we gave them X amount of millions or trillions of dollars. No, we didn't give them. We unlocked and let loose of the money that their own money that was held in these banks offshore. We let we let them have the money, their own money. It wasn't U.S. taxpayer dollars. It was Iranian dollars. Did not belong to us. Did not belong to NATO. Did not belong to the United Nations. Belonged to no one but Iran. It was theirs. Removing the sanctions for their good activity and good faith was the reason why they got access to the money according to their agreement. Now Trump has started us down this path. Will it end in war? I hope not. But what's happening now? All you have to do, look on conservative TV. They're beating the drums of war. They're calling for it. They're begging for it. War is a last resort. Should always be. But Trump doesn't know what he's doing. Not one bit. he can't even put a cabinet in place to go ahead and get him accurate information. But as we all know, he's not going to pay attention to that information because he routinely ignores it. But watch what comes next, people. Watch what comes next. It is going to be a repeat of 2003 all over again. Conservative news outlets are doing it. They're doing exactly what they did back in 2003 to get the public behind an invasion, an attack, a new war. It's not good. What's happening now? Let's talk about, oh, this man need to be removed. A la Saddam Hussein. He's a bad guy. He's this, he's that. We needed to take him out. He's responsible for coming after us, and he was targeting us. Don't know if he was doing that. The intelligence agencies have released a report since then saying we have no credible reason to believe he's planning an attack, was planning an attack, or has been planning an attack against U.S. interests. Hell, him and his delegation that were in Iraq were going to meet with Iraqi leaders and leaders of NATO and UN, from what I understand, to find a way to have a better, for peace negotiations of some sort. Believing that the Trump administration would be okay, and they were supposed to be delegates wherever this was going to. And instead of having that peace negotiation, Trump bombed him, killed him. So now we got rhetoric from Fox News, all these conservative outlets and conservative pundits. We need to take out this guy. We took out this guy. He was planning attacks. Now they retaliated on us, so we got to retaliate on them. This isn't good. The next thing that's going to come is, well, if you're not for this, you're unpatriotic and you don't support the troops. Really? I don't support putting them in a war they shouldn't be in the first place. I don't support putting them in harm's way when it does not matter. Where it does not have our interests in heart. We were not attacked. We did not. We did the provocations. Trump did that. He's provoking all of Iran's actions. Every last bit of it. Hell, Iran is just reacting to us. Iran is reacting to what Trump is doing. There are some very interesting videos out there that have been popping up on social media, news websites, BBC, you name it. First was that Iranian parliament getting all together down and chanting "Death to America, death to America, death to America." Not good, of course. But they're reacting to what Trump did and has been doing. There are videos of other people crying and begging, please, no war. We love the American people. We hate your president. And let me make myself clear. I do not hate Donald Trump. It doesn't mean I like him either. I don't like his set of morals. I think he's incompetent. I think he's very childish. I don't believe that he cares about anybody but himself and his own wallet. That is it. But this man is about to get us into a shooting war, and the propaganda is starting. Watch out for the propaganda. It'll be exactly the same as it was in 2003. Mark my words. You may not like politics, but politics is not politics anymore. Understand what I'm telling you. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.